Welcome to another episode of The Working Hour with Mike and Shane, a WHMS radio style podcast. I'm Mike. Shane, go ahead and say something and let the people hear you.
Hey, I'm a little sick this week.
I'm glad you said that because I was like, maybe I should have walked in with that. He's a little under the weather today, folks, but he's still here for you. Shane! Anyways, if you're new to the show, what we're going to do here.
I'm gonna let you take my thunder.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. Well, I mean, I could have took it. You didn't take it. I gave it to you.
I gave it to you. All right.
If you're new to the show, what we're going to do is we're going to cover an album track by track with our thoughts and feelings with an overall rating out of 5. We also feature a bonus track at the end of the album we conclude with. Go ahead and tell us the bonus pick for this week.
Bonus pick for this week's album is going to be the song Flex by the band Courting.
Okay.
So,
with that little introduction being done, let's talk about what we're all here for, what you guys are here for. We're going to talk about Z by My Morning Jacket, which is the 4th studio album by the psychedelic rock band My Morning Jacket. Now, this album is not so much psychedelic. This is kind of a little bit of a different sound compared to some of their earlier albums. This is much more spacier and more polished. I'm going to use that with some finger quotes than the previous releases. There's a lot of use of synthesizers throughout the album, incorporating reggae and dub influences. The heavy reverb that was like a defining characteristic of the band's prior recordings is largely absent on this album. Songs on the album are more focused they're shorter compared to the band's previous albums. This isn't a great stat, but just because they're kind of like on the low end of this list. But in 2012, Rolling Stones ranked this album number 457.
It's ranked
out of the 500 greatest albums of all time. So that is out of all time. So I mean, and I don't think it's like a stellar album, but it's solid. Like you'll see, we'll get into it. I'm not hating on it. I did like it actually.
It's not painful.
No, not at all. It's fine. But yeah, the magazine also ranked the album 31st on its list of the 100 best albums of the. Did I say 31st? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, 31st out of the 100 best albums of the 2000s and 23rd of the 40 greatest stoner albums ever. Which,
But yeah, no. Whenever I was kind of like looking into this a little bit, I was kind of going basic just because this is your album. You know, you're kind of doing the heavy lifting when it comes to all that. But yeah, I did look through and I'm like, this album's got a little bit of street cred. Like it has pretty good like reviews across the board. It's ranked on like a number of lists of like best blah blah blah, you know, whatever. But I was like, okay, shit, this album's kind of all right. There's something to
it's
this.
supposedly like when I googled, because I always thought it was like one that a lot of people didn't like, but apparently it's like one of their more known albums.
Fuck yeah.
So, yeah. There's only 2 singles. We have Off the Record, which was released October 10th of 2005. Yeah, Off the Record's pretty good. Gideon, released in 2006. The genre, and this is kind of loosely, this is just what the Wikipedia says. We have Alternative Country, which I think is only really 1 track.
I could see like 2 or 3, but like
I feel like it's kind of a stretch a little bit at that point, though.
2 or 3 isn't enough to have it encompass like an entire album. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Especially
sure.
like 10 tracks, like
Yeah.
So what? 30% if we're generous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have indie pop, indie rock, soul, and space rock. I don't really classify it. I mean, I agree with some of these, but I'm kind of just like, I don't know. I go more track by track, where I think this is kind of giving us feels for the whole album. Z was the first My Morning Jacket, and like I said, this was their 4th one, to have a professional producer. Jim James, the vocalist, had previously always produced the album. He said it was kind of out of pride. But before the recording sessions began, James met producer John Leckie, I'm pretty sure, who was known for his work with bands such as Pink Floyd and Radiohead. Leckie was also a tape operator on the George Harrison album All Things Must Pass On, which is a pretty good one. I don't know if you're really familiar with George Harrison, but there's some good tracks off that album. And that was also one of James' favorite albums. James kind of said that Leckie's perspective as an outsider played a pivotal role in production of the album. So this was an album that I planned on us covering at some point. So I've had quite a few listens in the past like couple months. So it's kind of grown on me. Like I said, I'm not crazy about it, but I'm kind of curious to see where we stack up score wise, because I'm curious to see where you're at on some of the tracks, because we've been wrong about it before, where we kind of think one is going to be way higher than the other.
Sure.
So That's all I have, though. Do you have anything to add?
I do not. I mean, aside from birthday release.
Yeah, that is pretty true.
That's interesting.
Big old 10-4.
Wasn't this? I was gonna say, didn't you hear about this band just by happenstance at a concert?
Yeah, I was at the Lord show and some girl, some little teeny bopper was talking about her parents seeing My Morning Jacket, and I was like, "Huh? Your parents are probably only like
not
15,
that much
20 years older than me.
Okay.
Let me see what that's about." Yeah. And I knew a little bit. I had some of their other stuff.
They could have pumped you out early.
I never listened to a full album by them other than Z. And I don't even know really. I think what drew me into it is some of their earlier stuff is a lot longer. And I was like, if we do a podcast, I want to keep it somewhat short. And this was 10 tracks.
Sure.
And I listened to it a couple times, thumbed through it, and I was like, that's pretty good. And then I listened to it in entirety a couple times before even doing the notes or whatever, like before I even suggested it. So, yeah.
Also, I do like the fact that your shirt kind of your clothing options kind of match the color scheme of the album art.
A little bit. Didn't plan for that. I was kind of like, I'm going to wear this flannel, and I think the only colors I have that go close to it are the Green Room t-shirt.
Looks good. But yeah, that is all I have to add.
All right. Well, with that being all said, we got a nice little introduction for you guys on the album. Let's go ahead and get into the tracks. So we have Wordless Chorus, track 1, 4 minutes, 12 seconds. So this was something that kind of reminded me. I know we talked about it off mic, how you were like, it's a lot of tracks where I'm like, this reminds me of so-and-so. This kind of reminded me a little bit of Beck off the Modern Guild album. Just a little bit.
I see it.
But it's very heavy on the synth on the intro. It's about 16 minutes of synth before we really get any vocals. Jim opens up with a soft delivery of so much going on these days, forget about instinct, it's not what pays. It flows really good, and I think the melody of Jim's vocals are solid, along with the bumpy bass and the tight percussion and synth noise, all combined. It's just really good. I saw a lot of people comparing this, not a lot, say I've seen it probably 3 or 4 places, where they were comparing the overall sound to Benny and the Jets by Elton John. I don't really see it 100%, but someone noted at the end of the track where he's like, he does the yeah, yeah, yes, and it kind of sounds like the end of Benny and the Jets, where it's like, Benny, Benny.
Okay.
So I seen that, but I still think it's a little bit of a stretch. I don't really pick up on it. I saw it, and then I saw quite a few people mentioning it, and I was like, I'm sorry, guys, I don't really make that connection.
I never really got that either.
Now on the ending with the yeah, yeah, yes compared to the Benny, it's similar, but it's still not really all that great. The most iconic verse to me is, we are the innovators, they are the imitators. The way it's delivered is really good, really solid. It really kind of carries some weight. A lot of people thought that this was their sellout album, I think because it was a little bit different sounding. I've seen a lot of people hating on it for that. And I think this song kind of cancels that out just because we are the innovators, they are the imitators. I think they were just kind of innovating their sound with this, kind of working on it because we both know it's quite a bit different from their earlier work.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and you're a long-time My Morning Jacket fan, just leave a comment or something and let us know what you think about that. If you think it's a sellout album or not. I'm kind of curious, love or hate the album, what people think. I didn't really analyze this track too heavy. It was the first My Morning Jacket album, and this track being track 1. It definitely kept me interested, and it's one of my higher scores, honestly. It's probably one of the first tracks that made it into my my liked songs. I gave it a 4.2.
Okay.
Ooh. 2.8 on that, brother.
Okay.
No, 4.2 is pretty generous.
No, that's good.
I think four is a little more realistic. 4.2 though, but I do like it.
No, respect. Yeah, the low buzz 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 buzz. It does kind of remind me of the opening track of Modern Guilt. Honestly, I could totally see it.
Yeah.
But it also kind of reminds me of just that quieter beginning before the actual chorus hits. It does remind me a little bit of watch. You said that throughout the album, there's there's 3 songs where I'm it kind of reminds me of. I'm this reminds me of 4 different things in one song. But this also kind of reminds me of that one song off of Eternal Embers, where it's kind of the bedroom sounding song where he's at the keyboard or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's fine.
I'll take your word for it though.
Oh yeah. Anyway. Moving on. I really was not sure what to expect from this album going in, as I'd never heard anything by My Morning Jacket. Even after listening to the song, I really don't know what to expect from the album, as the album ends up like, I mean, it doesn't give you an idea of what to expect just because the album kind of genre hops quite a lot. 20 seconds in, the vocals and drum machine come in as the buzz repeats. It's very soft. The vocals, and especially like it's like very low key, like sonically, with the occasional whooshing sound effect. Um, so much going on these days. Forget about instinct. It's not what pays. Pleasure, up and down my smile, of carton of eggs. Think a carton of eggs. Think it's all worthwhile. At 107, a little bit of guitar and vocalization come in on the chorus, the titular wordless chorus, if you will. The ah, coming off the second chorus, the synth like buzzes deeper as the vocals echo and fade out. We are the innovators, they are the imitators. The third chorus gets even more bubbly with the synth, with some light percussion in the back as the vocalization gets belted out, hitting these really high deliveries, almost sounding like Prince to me. That's what I took away from that. It's like, it kind of reminds me of Prince, not so much Elton John. But it's just me. What do I know? This was an interesting opening track. I liked the contrast between the high-pitched like strings and the deep synth. I thought it might lend some insight on what to expect, and in a way, it kind of did. But the album has a lot of surprises. Like it surprised me a lot moving forward. I was not as high on this. It didn't make my like songs, but just barely didn't make it. I gave this a 3.4 out of 5.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. It's like it almost made my like, but they have better songs on this album. On to track number 2. We have It Beats For You, coming in at 3 minutes and 46 seconds. The rapid drumming right out of the gate, accompanied with a guitar and bass, made me think of like Blink 182 just a little bit for a couple of seconds before going in a much different direction. Who could see and not believe? The heart that beats, the wavelength. And it's like the weird like delivery of wavelength. Wavelength. Kind of makes it rhyme with believe a little bit. The vocals between the like dead echo on them and their delivery come off as like kind of haunting. The haunting sound only grows once we get to the hook. In tune with you, so in time for me. New thoughts arrive, so in time for me. The synth keys pick up, and this like almost uneasy sound kind of comes in before the guitar warbles and the cymbals crash and vocals echo out as the synth stops. At 1:30, the acoustic guitar and electric guitar play with some like light drumming in the back along with some soft vocals. The synth comes back on the final hook. It beats for you, so in time we beat. Your heart aligns, so in time with me. At 2:48 through until the end is mostly instrumentation apart from the vocalization from the end of the hook, as well as some whistling. The guitar is pretty effects heavy. The piano comes in on the outro briefly as well. The bass guitar plays out the song along with some rapid drumming and cymbal tapping. This song reminded me a little bit of Radiohead, actually, just a little, with some of its like vocals and some of the music itself, particularly some of the synth work. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. So yeah, it's a little bit different sound on track 2. More of a presence of percussion. Guitar is also present. The bass guitar is also like kind of really showcased on this track. It's kind of a little bit more bassy than track 1. I think it's a little bit more chill. It's a little more relaxed than Wordless Chorus. The vocals are a little less clear, but it kind of flows with the style of music that we're given on this track. It's not really a complaint. I'm just stating facts, I guess, that the vocals are a little I don't know. They're like just a little distorted, I guess. Not super clear. The final verse is really good. You know my heart, it beats for you, it beats for you. So in time, we beat. Your heart aligns, so in time with me. And this plays the track out, letting the music steal the rest of the runtime, like you said, from about the 245, 248 minute mark. It just plays the track out. There's a nice little bass solo kind of strung in there. I was a fan of that, like I kind of stated in the early review of the track, that there's quite a bit more bass guitar than track one. The whistling, you pointed out, I thought it was funny when I kept Wikipedia up when I was like going through the tracks just to see if anything would like pop up through, and I was looking at like the extra people that were kind of put in as like helped on the album or whatever. The whistling, I hope you get a kick out of this. I did, because I'm an idiot. Not saying you're an idiot, but just a silly fella. But the dude doing the whistling was named Andrew Bird, so Mr. Bird on the whistle. I thought that was pretty clever.
Okay.
A little catchy. This song wasn't as catchy to me as Wordless Chorus, but it was still fine. It was a smooth listen, not too long, not bad. But the score shows it a little bit as a fall off compared to track one. But still, this is like a solid track off the album. I gave it a 3.6, so I'm just a little higher than you. Track 3, we have Gideon, 3 minutes 39 seconds. This was the first single off the album. I mean, it's fine, but there was other tracks off. I was kind of surprised that there was only 2. No, I'm not lowballing it. I think I gave it a.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I didn't give it a great score. But it's fine. I just think that there's other tracks. It just surprised me that there was only 2 singles off this album. I mean, that's 20%, but still, I could see it being a little higher. The track opens up with a nice, like, deep bassy drum, kind of keeping a slow-paced tempo. Lyrics open up. Gideon, what have you told us at all? It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Make a sound, come down off the wall. Gideon was a Shopit, a military leader, and a prophet who's calling in victory over the I don't know, something. Anyways, he's a character from the Hebrew Bible. Gideon is. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I thought it was like a biblical name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it, and it kind of has a theme of that, I guess, more or less. Track carries a decent amount of energy, but it's certainly like an outlier from the first 2 tracks. I thought, for me personally, like it didn't have the same amount of energy. But musically, it rocks really hard. It reminded me of U2 a little bit with the synth noise, which is probably a crazy stretch. I'm hoping you think it reminds you of somebody too, because it's probably not U2.
It's not, but it might be someone.
I also thought at parts, like on the end of the track where it's more rock and roll sounding, I kind of thought it sounded more like a little bit like The Who. But the last delivery of "You Animal Come On, what does this remind you of? Animal Come On, what does this remind you of?" It's very high energy at that point in the track, and that's probably like the top of the hill for me. The track feels a little longer than it is. Like, I didn't think it flew really smooth as far as like the overall listen. Lyrically, there's not a lot of meat. There's not a lot of lyrics to this track. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was as good as the first 2 opening tracks. I gave this a 3.5. You're like, this is a 5.
Oh, fuck you. That's much damn eyeball you're shitting in, boy.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see, the song opens up. Drums and cymbals quietly open the song for the first couple of seconds, before a swell of music in the back with bass guitar and electric guitar as they start to hit. I could be way off the mark here, but my mind immediately went to The Who when it came to the music.
At least I redeemed myself.
Yeah.
I didn't shit in both eyes.
You said that, I was like, all right, okay, all right then.
I'm not really super familiar with The Who either.
I almost picked one of their albums.
Really?
Almost. I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
Rainy day.
I like when you do a classic rock album, because it's like,
what's he going?
I think you dabble in it too, but I feel like
it's more your
between
thing.
The 2 of us. Yeah, it's more my genre than yours.
For sure. So yeah, my mind immediately went to The Who. Whenever like the music and the vocals and the energy to the song really start to build up, the drums start like growing closer and closer, and they become more lively as the song goes on. At 108, the song really starts to liven up as the vocals start to yell out and command, "Listen, listen." The electric guitar and the drums now in full swing. From 203 to 235, he says, "Come on," but it's "Come on." Like I really like some of the highs that he's hitting there. After being dragged out, we get some piano briefly as the song like starts to crescendo, then starts winding down. 235 through to the end being full instrumentation. There aren't a ton of lyrics, but the way that they are used is pretty fantastic in my opinion. I feel like they are paced out pretty perfectly and really lend to a sense of escalation in the song and give us they give us some really grand moments, some really highs like the
yeah, I will agree with that part. It's a little bit Lion King-ish, but I liked it. I think the only thing that I wasn't crazy about was like
I like the Lion King.
Well, it is. Yeah, I do too. It's great. But I just wasn't crazy about his vocals, and like it's very good. It's very like I can respect the hell out of it. It just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fine.
It's fine that you're wrong, Mike.
Don't worry, I'm not. It's not a 5. It's a 4.9. No, it's not a 4.9. I ended up giving. This is like top 3 off the album for me. I give this a maybe top 2. I give this a 4.2 out of 5.
Okay, that's where I was at on the opening track. So, yeah. I really wish we had like a super fan, and that would have to be us at this point. But someone who would like, what is our highest rated score?
Yeah,
like what is our top 5?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, give us a collection of.
Ain't nobody. I don't even know how. That would be hard. You'd have to listen through like.
Yeah. That
30-something hours of
some
dedication. Now.
I was gonna say they come at our neck, be like, now wait, what did you mean by you gave this a 4.8? All right, you gave this one a 9.7. Now what do you mean by that? Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
What'd you give it again? I'm sorry.
A 4.2 out of 5.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I did on the opening.
I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I definitely liked kind of the Who vibes to this.
The Who?
The Who? The You.
I'm gonna out myself here. Back in the day, well, I'm sorry, I'm getting off of tangents.
You're fine.
There was an episode of Hannah Montana back in the day where she was like talking to the other girl on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you ever watched Hannah Montana.
It was on.
But there was one where she's like, "Yeah, I'm opening for the Who tonight," and the girl is like, "The Who?" And she's like, "The Who?"
Yeah. No, the Who. The Who?
So dumb.
Yeah,
so dumb.
That's all right though. It's like, of course, they didn't show up in the episode.
No,
she just
not
was
at all.
Like,
they ain't paying for that. The studio audience though thought it was hilarious.
Oh, they fucking like.
You ever listen to a show where you hear like someone in the background on the studio audience?
Fuck up.
Well, no, it's just like, or not even. It's like a tape track.
Yeah.
But like someone in the back is just like, like really losing their shit, and it's like,
come on, you're doing too much now.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they like pull it up like stop. All right, that's enough.
We're gonna have to walk you out.
You're laughing over the fucking. Anyway, on track number 4, we have "What a Wonderful Man." Piano keys coming in at 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Piano keys and drumsticks tapping before the guitar, drums, vocals hit a couple seconds in. He was leading us through the dark. He was saying that love goes on. Very fast. It's very fast and upbeat. Appropriate given its short runtime. The song has a very garage rock type of sound to it. I was a little surprised that the piano keys remained on this track. I figured they would contrast with the rest of the instrumentation, but they keep pace really well. Quick pause after the second verse before jumping right back in for the chorus. I never knew for sure what a wonderful man he was. What a sensuous man he was. What a marvelous man he was. 53 seconds, we get an instrumental breakdown. We get a shrieking "ah!" vocals, kind of breaking up the chorus into 2 halves. We get one more quick verse and an outro. I never knew for sure what a wonderful man he was, till the day I found out his cause was to do it for all of us. A beast too succulent. Yeah! Sung very high-pitched with some high keys to punctuate. I always appreciate a track that is short, sweet, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am type of song. This was a fun track, still mixing up the genres a little bit. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Foxy Shazam.
In my notes too, brother.
All right. I didn't go terribly high on this, but I thought it was just a short song. I gave it a 3.3 out of 5.
Okay, I'm a little higher, but I'm glad I mentioned Foxy Shazam too. Glad you. It sounds very much like Eric Nally, I think, is the lead singer of Foxy Shazam.
Yeah.
We covered
School of Rock and Roll.
No, Church of Rock and Roll. Yes. Yeah. School of Rock.
School of Rock. School of Cock. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Talking about.
Yeah. But this is the shortest track on the album. Really quick pace, like Shane was telling you guys. Sounds a little funky with the presence of the keyboard. It really gives us like a totally new vibe. The guitar sounds a little bit more funky too on this track, which really kind of reinforces the more funky. I don't want to say psychedelic, but maybe like a psychedelic funk sound. I really enjoy this one, and it feels like something of an upbeat track. Briefly, at times, it made me think of Foxy Shazam at parts, especially with the vocals. It's a song I'd love to hear. Foxy. I was like trying to combine Foxy and Shazam in one word. Foxy.
I'll tell you what, boy.
But anyways, I would like to hear them cover this track because I think they would do it pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Actually. Yeah. No, I feel like they would like really slip into that very easily.
Yeah, but not the other way around. Like, there's not really anything by My Morning Jacket that I don't want to hear them cover.
Right.
Of Foxy Shazam. But this is on like my first listen, it was very upbeat. But this is the one, I hate to kind of spoil it for you. It's kind of got a sad meaning. I read in multiple places that it was about. I think is it Jim James? It's Jim James, I think, not Jim Jones. But it's his friend who passed away from suicide.
Makes us sad.
Yeah, Jimmy wrote it though to be more happy and upbeat, as to not create like a sad vibe. To remember his friend, it's more upbeat, which I like that. Yeah, exactly, which I think is really nice. This track also made me think of another track called Lucky Man by Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Oh, what a lucky man he was.
Okay, yeah.
So similar vibes in that aspect, a little bit different. But I do like it, even with it kind of like finding out that it's a sadder song, but the way it's embraced, I really appreciate that. So it was, I don't want to say it was one of my higher scores, but it's definitely up there. It's pushing a 4 for me. Pushing close to a 4, I should say. He went his own way. I never knew for sure what a wonderful man he was, till the day I found out his cause was to do it for all of us. Overall, even with the sadness of the subject, like the overall vibe of the track, once I kind of researched it a little bit, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of a high energy and funky sound, and it's so fast paced, and I'm glad you felt that it felt like Foxy a little bit too.
Yeah.
Which is another band that I like. It definitely was a pickup, even though it is kind of a negative track overall. It's definitely like high energy, upbeat. I gave it a 3.8.
Yeah.
That will move us to our second and final single, Off the Record. I had the runtime just a little over 5.5 minutes at 5 minutes 33. The single version, I did want to point out, is only 3 minutes and 24 seconds, because when I read originally that this was a single, I was like, when I looked at the runtime, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a long single, but they did shorten a version for the single. It's pretty easy to trim it down too. It's like the whole second half is kind of like an instrumental, so that's pretty easy to trim out and just pop out your single. I really enjoyed the slow tempo on this one, the prominent use of the keyboard, bass guitar, rhythm guitar, and lead guitar. It's very soothing and creates like a nice mellow atmosphere. That's pretty good. It's very trippy and psychedelic compared to anything up to this point. Like, it really punches the nail in on that, as far as some of the other tracks like dabbled in it, but this one kind of really jumped in. Were you ever a fan of How I Met Your Mother growing up, the TV show?
I've seen episodes of it, but never. Yeah.
But there was an episode called Game Night where Off the Record was played at the end of the episode. So, fun fact, saw that on the wiki. This is the only single of the two that I really enjoyed, like 100%. Like, Gideon was fun, but like we both kind of laid it out for you guys. Shane was definitely a bigger fan of it than me, but this was one that I kind of enjoyed more. And the sound is like quite a bit different compared to the two singles. So like I said, though, this was like the week before my selection. I started to really like this track because I was kind of listening to the album more and more, just trying to see like narrow down what I really wanted to listen to or pick, I should say. It's really catchy musically, and it flows really well too. Um, and I like the lyrics too. The opening. Sorry about all the things I had to say, and I'll make it up to you right now at the Penny Arcade. I like that. I like the Penny Arcade line. Um, the music video features a schoolboy telling somebody to a young girl, like in a line, like telling secrets to each other, and they pass it on and pass it on and pass it on. Eventually, it spreads to an office building, and the people are arrested by police for like telling the secret. Which I thought kind of I didn't watch the music video, but I was like I could see that flowing along just fine. It's solid lyrically with the chorus really rocking. You've got to want to rearrange, keep it off the record, off the record. Actually, he doesn't repeat off the record. It's just off the record. You've got to know that we will change and keep it off the record, off the record. The delivery and like the spacing and the timing, like me and Shane kind of laid it out for you guys there. It's really good and it's very energetic and upbeat. I did listen to the single version though, and I do kind of prefer it for shortness and the instrumental dodge, but nothing against this version at all. I did, however, give 2 ratings. I don't expect you to because I don't expect you to listen to the single. I gave the album version a 3.8 and the single version a 4.1, so I did like this one.
Okay. So, fun fact, this song, its music video, was directed by Jake Schreier.
What else has he done?
Okay, right. Who?
David Fincher.
Yeah, right. Which I don't know if you know, David Fincher was a music video director back in the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was like his thing before he like actually broke into making movies. He did
start somewhere.
Stuff with Madonna, 9 Inch Nails, so on and so forth. Even did like 9 Inch Nails like after he became like an actual proper movie director.
Okay, I can see it because Trent Reznor does some.
Exactly.
I have something you need to remind me about Trent and 9 Inch Nails because.
Okay. I will.
I got a fun story.
Gotcha.
About someone we both know.
So Jake Schreier, who
Drake
Schreier. Jake Schreier, who notably directed 6 episodes of the 2023 Netflix show Beef, as well as Marvel's Thunderbolts. And this is a show that I guarantee you no one that will listen to this has probably seen. But I watched like this show in its entirety before it was canceled unceremoniously. Lodge 49, he directed a couple episodes of that, and that show fucking ruled. So, hell yeah.
Brother.
The guitar, the drums, and to some extent the bass at the start of the song kind of remind me a little bit of Interpol before the vocals come in and start to steer the song. Sorry about the things that I had to say, and I'll make it up to you right now at the Penny Arcade. Some of the additional guitar on the pre-chorus has a bit of an almost reggae sound to it. The chorus is very fun with a bit of a bounce to it, to the vocal delivery. You've got to want to rearrange and keep it off the record, off the record. I think that like light and fun vibe to the chorus is only made more so by the keyboard. On the final pre-chorus, ride, it repeats and it gets more and more wild and crazed for each delivery before a high-pitched I feel like he likes to flex a little bit and hit those high notes. At 2:25 through until the end of the song is an extended musical outro, starting off with just conventional instruments that were used up to this point in the song. Before totally changing at 3:05, the guitar becomes distant, the bass guitar a little bit more clear, and the keyboard gets plenty of time to shine, being very cool and laid back. Practically an entirely different song at this point. Okay, the sneeze isn't
happening. You powered through the sneeze. Bravo to you.
There's a there's some vocals that are backwards that come in for a good little bit of the song. This section and musical change up, as well as the backwards vocals, remind me of just a little bit of Faith No More. Not especially the album.
Look at us. We're almost every album now. We're like
Faith No More.
Sounds like Faith No More.
So like not so much the album that we listened to, but they had I think it was the album after the one that we covered that like I kind of saw some parallels to. I don't know, maybe that's another band that just like be like dipping their fucking toe in all the different ponds and whatever. But not to keep comparing My Morning Jacket to bands, but I'm still trying to like get a good grasp on what exactly they are. Maybe like to do so I need to go back and listen to some of their old stuff. You know what I mean? Before this album. I like this song as a song of two halves, really. I appreciate both halves of the song equally, just in vastly different ways.
Yeah.
The lighthearted fun rock of the first and the chill, like almost jazzy sound to the second half. No, is that the album or is that the single release?
What, the shorter version?
I don't know, like the jazzy second half. Is that on both?
That's the album version.
Did you rate that one higher or lower?
Lower.
Okay, I liked it.
Just slightly lower. 3.8 to 4.1.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I gave it
because I was like similar to you, where like it's a tale of two stories, kind of.
Yeah. I actually gave it I'll kind of meet you in the middle. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
So we're right there.
Yeah. So we're close.
More or less, yeah.
But on that note, I think I am ready to take what'll probably be our only break.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back. We'll knock out the second half, hit the boney, and we'll call it a nip.
Hit the boney.
So we will be right back, guys. All right, everyone, and we are back with track number 6, Into the Woods, coming in at 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Song opens with songbirds and children at play. Before the steel guitar comes in with this 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. It kind of sounding like it gave me like Big Top circus vibes. Yeah, I mean
100%. I'm in agreement with you.
Again, just the fact that the song went there kind of reminds me, once again, of Faith No More. I'm pretty sure that's the last time I will.
Well, I could see Faith No More on this, though, just because it's
totally.
kind of. I'm not going to let it. I'll let it out of the bag. A demented waltz. And I feel like that's something Faith No More, like musically, they could capture this.
Totally.
With Mike Patton, for sure.
Yeah. But you had mentioned these lyrics before. A kitten on fire, a baby in a blender. Both sound as sweet as a night of surrender. I know it ain't easy, but you do what you can. If your living gets wheezy, you can follow this plan. The music and lyrics are strange and surreal. Still waiting on the song to kind of find its footing. It starts to around the 2-minute mark, as the vocals liven up and the music does as well, to get on the vocals level. At 2:36, the instrumental starts up with some acoustic guitar and drumming. It has an almost like marching band-esque sound to it. The guitar squeals out before the children at play come back, and the vocals hit at 3:06. A good shower head and My Right Hand, the two best lovers that I ever had. Before addressing the listener, now if you find you agree with what I just said, you better find a new love and let them into your head. At 4:30, song kind of goes wild with some of the backing vocals and some deep and bold delivery on the backing vocals. The song dies down the last like 8 or so seconds with the kids at play once again. This is probably the most like head scratcher of a song off the album thus far, and probably in its entirety. Not all of it worked for me, but I do kind of tip my hat to the band for going for it like they did and doing something like totally unconventional. I went low on this, but like not in a horrible way. I give this a 2.8 out of 5. You gave it a fucking 8 point whatever. Anyway.
So this was like you talked about it, I elaborated on this a little bit last week when we were closing up the Arctic Monkeys AM album review, so check that out. But it was mentioned that we would be covering this, and I talked about the specific lyrics. A kitten on fire, a baby in a blender, both sound as sweet as a night of surrender. And like you said, this track was a head scratcher. I didn't put that in my notes, but that's a good way. I'm gonna jump on your back with that one because that is a good way to describe it. Um, it's very eerie and like circus type sounding music, and like I said earlier, I kind of read it. I read it to a way that it was described. Like I seen it only in one place, but it was described as a demented waltz, and I like that. I think that this describes it pretty well. The delivery of James's vocals kind of help with the vibe. He sounds pretty clear with a little bit of an echo, but it kind of just goes with that circus sounding vibe, like Shane was talking about. The closing verse, though, took it personally. A good shower. I mean, who doesn't like? I need to upgrade a shower head because we keep buying like every 6 months to a year. I buy a nice new shower head.
Yeah,
and I'm like, we're due for another one because this one
that often, huh?
I'm over it. Well, because like the last one I bought, it's not so like the last two I bought were probably within the last 2 years.
Sure.
So about once a year, and I like got just a standard single head. Then the most recent one I have, the one I have now, is like it's a waterfall, and then it has like a handhold thing you can use.
Oh,
and
nice.
you can have them both at the same time.
Sure.
Which is nice. Like if me and Lindsay are in there showering, we can each be like in water,
Yeah.
which is nice. But I'm like, I kind of want a different one or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I like having the two because it's nice to be able to. It sucks when you're showering with someone and
you're just waiting.
It's like I'm just out here cold.
You're like anytime now.
And I'm bad about it because like I will hog the water. I'm that guy because I love a hot fucking shower. So it's like two kind of benefit Lindsay more than me. But
sure.
But yeah. Anyways, a good shower. Like I fuck with a good shower. I was kind of disappointed. Like You've traveled for work. Do you ever like go to a hotel and you're like, man, this shower fucking sucks?
No, there's specifically like if I travel, I'll be like, whoa. I'm like, do they now within the budget? Is this specific hotel available? And I'm like, it is. Let's go. That's the one I want.
Is that based on just the reviews, or is that based on the shower head they got?
It's based off the shower head that they have.
Really?
Yeah, okay. It's their shower setup that I'm like, they have nice showers.
Let me see what that looks like. Yeah, no, that's a good way to look.
Just because I'm like, this is a cookie cutter ass hotel. I know that they're going to be the same for everyone that I go to. Like specifically this one, if I go, they'll have the nice shower, and they do. So
nice. Yeah, there was one that I stayed at. It was okay, but I feel like none of them were as nice as like the 2-piece that I have at home in my own shower, which wasn't that expensive on the Zon. But that line, a good shower head in my right hand, like I don't know. It's very like I didn't take the song too serious, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's quite a bit of a change of pace. It's the outlier. I'm glad it didn't really stay as dark as it did on that opening verse because that would have been very demented.
Right.
But like I said, it's one that I didn't take seriously, but I did enjoy it. I gave it a 3-4. So I wasn't as low as you were, but I wasn't like crazy high about it either. That will move us to track number 7. Runtime of 3 minutes 56 seconds with Anytime. So I thought that was just like an interesting keyboard on the intro that kind of had me questioning if it was gonna like, if I was gonna like the track because it just kind of seemed out of place at first, but it quickly faded away around the 15-second mark when all the guitars and the percussion kind of come together. The keyboard, it was almost like an organ sounding melody was playing in the background still though from the original, and it just kind of carried over. The vocals come in 15 seconds later, right around the 30-second mark. Is this climbing up to the moon, or is it bailing out too soon? I hope we didn't wait too long. It's very fast-paced, and it's a very high-energy track. Again, it kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the selling out thing. I can see it kind of as a stretch in these lyrics with people like assuming if they were referencing that, the band themselves. Is this climbing up to the moon, or is it bailing out too soon? Which I can kind of see that as being like a selling out. Like, is this the way to fame, or is this like cashing our checks because we're just like cashing out before we actually really hit gold? We're just kind of taking the money and running. James is a pretty solid like vocal performance on the track, Jim James, and it's very fitting like musically. but it's different compared to some of the other of the album. The backing vocals during the chorus is really nice. The song is pretty direct, and it's a little bit of a different message than any other song. Things I could say to myself, I could never say to someone else. But what Madonna said really helped. She said, "Boy, you better learn to express yourself." It's pretty solid. With the intro to the intro and the last 30 seconds of the track is like totally opposite of each other. I enjoyed this one. It's a little bit more of a punky rock and roll sounding song. I didn't really compare it to anybody else, which is probably one of the only tracks that well, I mean, you've done it more, but I'm curious to see if you compare it to anybody, just to see if I can agree with you or yeah, because everything you've described so far, I mean, we've been 2 for 2. At least we've had 2, I guess, that we both agreed on, Foxy and the Who.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of cool. So I'm curious to see what else you have to say about it. But this was all right. I gave it a decent score. I gave it a 3.9.
Okay. Fuck, I went low on this one again. I don't know, and I kind of wouldn't mind like going a little higher on it. I feel like if anything, like one song that I feel like I could have gone higher on would be "What a Wonderful Man," just because it's like it's so.
That one is really good.
It's good, and it's also really fucking short, so it doesn't waste your time.
Yeah, 2.5. It's like 2 minutes 37 seconds or something like that.
But anyway, on to Anytime.
Anywho, Anytime.
356. The song opens quiet with some keyboard and what sounds like a damn before additional layer of keyboard comes in at 15 seconds. The guitars, the drums, and the tone, like, it totally changes despite maintaining the keyboard in the background. The vocals are much more loud and reaching on this track, giving it a really strong, commanding energy. Is this climbing up to the moon? Or is this bailing out too soon? Upon looking up the lyrics, I realized it was kind of slim pickings. The song is only comprised of verses and hooks. The hooks are very catchy, though, and the song isn't made worse by the lack of chorus. All I wanted to say, words only got in the way. But then I found another way to communicate. There's also a little bit of backing vocalization on the hook I noticed, as well as some bass that hadn't really caught my ear, as well as some bass that hadn't really caught my ear prior to that point. I like coming off the second hook, the piano keys come in heavy, and they really maintain that high upbeat energy. 316 to the end of the song is, aside from some and a little bit of vocalization, instrumentation to close out the song as the guitar strings warble and scratch out. More than anything, I really appreciate the upbeat nature to this song. It's just a real good time. I could see a party montage playing to this song. I give this a 3.6 out of 5. So,
hey, mad at you.
Yeah.
That's rightfully.
Yeah.
Like I said in the intro, like I feel like I'm a little higher on it just because I've listened to it more and I've like I'm proud of this.
Yeah. Good pick.
I'm gonna use this for the show.
So, onto Lay Low, track number 8, coming in at 6 minutes and 5 seconds.
Not to be confused with Lilo from Lilo and Stitch.
Bro, it autocorrects and was like Taylor, and I'm like, no, not Taylor.
No,
Lay Low.
Not Mike's cousin. That I was trying to.
I wasn't like thirsty about it, but I was like, yo, like,
put a good word in for me.
And you're like, I'm like, did she ask about me? You're like, no, not at all. Never, actually. She honestly kind of hoped you were dead, but whatever. The song opens with some deep, like, drum machine. Because at first I was like, oh, yeah, it's deep drum. It's like, I looked into it. It's like, no, it's a drum machine. Opens the song before the electric guitar, the bass line, and the keys play alongside the vocals. I really like the vocal delivery. It has like a country twang to it that's, again, it's changed genres. The electric guitar is simple, but it is really solid and fills the breaks in the lyrics quite well. Lay low, don't you know? Lay back a while. I'll show you. I got the good that you want. No need to go and hunt something else. It's right here with me when you stay. The higher pitched piano keys contrast really well against the low beat of the drum machine. From 213, the actual drums come in. Lay low if it feels right. If the feel is right, I got all that I want here and you tonight, and we'll pass out on the bedroom floor after going full tilt so long. At 303, the woo before some electric guitar shredding as the song goes full instrumental for an extended outro, making up for damn near half the song. I could absolutely see this being a closing song for one of their concerts. For the outro, every instrument gets a little time to shine. Some points the drums get going extra crazy, other points the piano gets the spotlight. Song ends with the electric guitar ringing out before one last like clang from the guitar. The song made my like songs. The very first time I heard it actually, because I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" After further listens, I'm not as high on it as I used to be, just because it's 6 minutes. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's a little more daunting of a listen. Whenever, especially when you're looking at something like that's 2.5 minutes long. You know what I mean? When that's like getting.
Oh no, it makes
that's going up. This is
yeah.
Kind of going down a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. I can agree with that.
So yeah, this song played in its entirety this song played in its entirety during a concert works great. But as just like a standard at home listen, it can be a little unwieldy. I gave this a 3.7 out of 5.
So in the album introduction, I was listing genres that the album was described as, and country alternative was one of them. And I was kind of scratching my head because I wrote that very early on. That was a copy and paste, if I'm not going to lie. And it kind of left me scratching my head because I had known the album, but I really didn't sit down and decipher it. And then after listening to this and like doing my notes, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a country sounding. Almost creates like a southern rock sound around the 3 minutes 5 second mark. There's an instrumental section that really kind of almost sounds like a southern rock kind of jam. And just like the previous instrumental, I was fine with it. I wish it would have maybe went back into the chorus like one more time or kind of played its way back in and did something else. But I did like it. I don't have a whole lot of notes for this one, but I do like that verse. Lay low, why don't you now? It's just very catchy. Lay back a while and I'll show you. I got the good that you want. No need to go hunting something else. The vocals are very different on this track, and it kind of helps create that country sound with James's vocals being like more of a country twang aspect. So I liked it, and I like the change of pace on this one too. I also gave it a 3.7. And that will move us to Knock Comes Loose, which is track number 9. I had the runtime just a smidge over 4 minutes at 4 minutes and 2 seconds. So another like different sounding vibe on this one. I kind of thought it was a little bit of might be a stretch. I'm curious to see how you feel about it, but like a reggae ballad-esque type track. There's a nice count in, which I like a count in it. Adds a little bit of aesthetic to the track.
Okay.
It's a easy, smooth melody on the intro. It holds that sound till about 35 seconds where the first vocals really appear. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like a fade in. Can't you see that I'm smiling? Can't you see that there's part of me that's brand new? Used to be. Was a part of me that I felt like hiding, but now it comes through. Deep in my heart, that's where the knot comes loose. It's such a deep ballad love sound, and the lyric itself is even just so deep. The percussion is where I kind of get the reggae sound along with the sound of the guitar. It almost creates like an island vibe. I was reading in a song discussion thread on Reddit, and a lot of people seem to like this one because it's so deep and sweet. I actually saw someone used it as their like walk down the aisle song when they were getting married, and it's like, okay. And then they said they like actually were there when they performed it live, and it was like, I mean, I can only imagine like if you had a nice wedding song with someone, like whoever you're getting married to, and you actually see that performed live, it's like, oh, that would be. It's like we having some nasty hotel sex tonight after watching that. But yeah, I like that. And it a lot of people say that it's like, from what I was reading, is the majority of people, let me phrase it that way, says it's like one of their more favorite slow sounding songs by Mama Morning Jacket. And I agree. It's a very slow, like, compared to the Demented Waltz we got a minute ago. This is like very refreshing. And I think the placement is pretty good coming off of Lay Low, because it kind of slows us down in preparation for this. I like this one again. As another slice of variety, I gave it a 3.6.
Okay. So I got a looks like quiet rattling of the maraca. And a 1, 2, 3, 4 song that's going with some acoustic guitar, very light percussion, and piano keys. The vocals are particularly soft and delicate on their delivery. B, can't you see that I'm smiling? Can't you see there's a part of me that's brand new? Used to be, was a part of me, felt like hiding. But now it comes through. The instrumentation does a lot of the heavy lifting on the song, just due to a little bit more of the scarcity of the lyrics. The song keeps its structure simple, just going verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. The song has a country twang to it at moments, particularly with the electric and acoustic guitar, especially how the electric guitar drags out some of its notes. It just makes me think of like an open, like, country prairie. Throughout the song, but especially around and past the halfway point of the song, the piano kind of steals the show with some truly pretty moments. Deep in my heart, that's where the knot comes loose. Deep in my heart, I will remember you. Around 3 minutes in, you can faintly hear like a crowd cheer. The song quietly fades out for the last 15 seconds or so. I appreciated this song for being just a nice, slow, and chill song. Me being the sucker that I am for piano, I really liked how much of the song was dedicated to it. I thought that it had plenty of time to just be pretty. So, yeah, I don't know. The piano on this really did it for me. I gave this a 3.9 out of 5. On to track number 10. So this starts off quiet and almost creeping, reminding me somewhat of Radiohead again. Spacey guitar and deep drum beat, as well as some bass guitar and vocals that both feed into the creeping sound. In a dream I saw you walking, like a kid alive and talking. That was you. In a classroom you were teaching. On the streets you were policing. That was you. The vocals get ghostly and ethereal on the delivery of. That never ever was. This is accompanied with some vocalization and more prominent bass guitar. The moments of vocalization remind me just 233 through 330. There is a gap of instrumentation, some very metallic guitar, steady drum beat, and bass coming in and out before the song really picks up and takes off, becoming all around like more upbeat and loud. You had me worried this would last, but now I'm learning that this will pass. 421, the vocals carry a good 12 seconds before breaking into a yell as the lyrics and the song conclude. And we get another, well, the lyrics for the song conclude, and we get another long instrumental outro. 533, the song starts winding down before returning to its quiet and slow sound as some brass starts to come in. The last like minute or so of the song is very slow and deliberate, with a good almost 30 seconds of silence to end the song, coming off the rattling cymbals. kind of surprised this didn't lead into like a bonus track with like that stretch of silence. I thought the song really took its time to build up to a big pop. That was a really great surprise. It made for an epic final track off the album. I know you don't like that word, but it made for a really solid finale. And I texted you about it. I was at the gym, and it was the Olympics were on, and it was like a couples figure skating thing.
Germany takes the gold.
I don't know if like they like flat out won, but like I probably saw like 6 different like teams compete, and then like Germany came out and cut it up while the song was playing, and they like scored the highest out of everyone at that point. Like, I'm like, that's okay. And they were taking their bows whenever this song was hitting its high mark. You know what I mean? So I gave it a 4.25 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
On track 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm a little lower. Quite a bit lower. I thought it was kind of a callback to an earlier song. This song is also about James's friend who passed away. Some of the lyrics are deep and emotional on this one. The opening verse, "In a dream I saw you walking like a kid, alive and talking, that was you." It's solid writing and on the delivery, and like even after researching like the lyrics and the meaning behind it, it's like definitely adds to it. It's really slow and simple, with the focus kind of being more on the vocals. The final verses are really good. You had me worried, so worried that this would last. You had me worried, so worried that this would last. But now I'm learning that this will pass. But now I'm learning that this will pass. It's still really slow, but it's a track that kind of like really builds energy, and it's a really solid showcase of I don't know, just like the overall vibe of it, of just kind of losing someone in the grief. And I really found it kind of deep and in a high energy way, where again he's talking about his friend that passed away, but it's kind of like more of an uplifting vibe to the track, even with like the kind of darker subject matter of losing someone and just grief in general, which is how I perceive the track anyway. The guitar does get a little crazy after the last verse, and it kind of plays us out. Overall, I liked it. I don't know if I think it's the greatest closer, because I feel like it kind of was energetic and it carried a lot of weight. And I don't know if it kind of left me hanging, I guess, but it was fine. But I can maybe see something else being the closer track. Because I like to look into the first track and the last track. I think they're very important. But the slow fade on this one did kind of help slow the energy down a little bit and kind of like fade out the album. So I'm not like really upset about it, but overall I enjoyed it. It's a little too long for like a daily listen type of track in my opinion, but it's a really pretty track with its contents the way they are. I gave it a 3.6 overall, but I think it's worth a 4. If some fat was trimmed off and it was maybe a little shorter, like a single version like we had on the earlier one of the earlier tracks, off the record that was, where they had the single version, this would be something I would, like I said, it'd be definitely worthy of a 4 if it was a little trimmed up. Overall thoughts on the album, what do you think?
Overall, I liked it. It didn't clear anything crazy high for me. But there were some songs where it's like it didn't have good. Pretty good.
The way it sounds, it's like it didn't really have a low floor.
Not at all.
The floor was pretty good, but the ceiling wasn't like really high either.
Yeah,
but it was consistent.
No, it had a good anything over 4 is like good.
Anything over like a 3.5 is good, I think.
Yeah, but like
maybe not for an everyday listen, but anything above 4 is like every day. But anything above a 3.5, that's close to it.
I got 2 songs that cleared 4s. So
out of 10.
Yeah. So
that's 20. That's 20%.
It's pretty good. Actually, no, I got 3 songs that cleared 4s.
That's 30%.
So I was gonna say it's 3. It's 3. 3 songs that cleared 4s. Yeah, it was an interesting album that like really kept me on my toes. I never really knew what to expect. It's always something new, and I appreciated the fact that this only surprised me. Yeah, I never got too comfortable with this. There is plenty of albums where I've gotten comfortable and I'm just like, all right, what's
next? Come on, give me something
else. And I kind of like just like mindlessly like thumb through it. You know what I mean? Like,
this one was definitely a genre hopped.
This, it's like, no, let me slow down. All right, So, yeah, overall, I liked it. Not insanely high, but it didn't have bad lows.
Yeah, I'm glad we listened to it because it's like an artist scratched off the list.
Yeah.
Is that all you have?
That's all I got.
Yeah. So for me, closing thoughts, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I wasn't like super crazy about it. Like I said, the ceiling not really high, the floor not really low either. So it was kind of like in the mid range. I would maybe buy this album though. Like I feel like it's a short runtime. I want to say the overall runtime is like it's less than 45 minutes, so it's pretty short for 10 tracks. Might even be a little shorter than that now I'm thinking about it. But it was fine. It genre hops a lot, which is nice. I don't know if I'm crazy about it because it's kind of almost too much where like I can't really put my thumb on what else, But we were listening to some my morning jacket off the mic, and Shane liked it. I think it was some of their earlier stuff, and it's like, but it's kind of different from this album entirely.
Yeah,
which makes sense because we kind of touched on it in the intro. But without spreading this out too long, overall, I liked it. Is it something I'd buy? Possibly. It didn't really lull for me, but it definitely there was parts of it where it's like it's almost like too different where I didn't like it because it's like I can't. It's like you guys have this other track that's like a completely different sound I really like, and then you like mix it up and it falls off a little bit. Other than that, solid. For the bonus, do you want me to take the lead on the bonus?
Take lead.
Okay. So Shane's selection for the bonus is Flex by Courting. I have the runtime 4 minutes 23 seconds. I like the I don't know if it's the opening verse, but it's very early on. It might be the opening verse or like the second verse. Now she's calling a cab. Yeah, she's calling a cab, and I couldn't care more. The Killers reference, and we kind of both talked about it. I didn't really read if that was like actually like if they kind of meant that to be a thing or if it just kind of happened. So I don't know, but I read it a couple places where people were like, "Yeah, that's the Killers reference," and it's like, well, I don't know if it's official or not, but it's close enough for me. Flex, though, in quotes, is designed to be a theatrical performance and like a short play, and it kind of is. It's a little bit. This track is a little bit of a short story of itself. I kind of enjoyed the horns on it. The trumpet was a nice touch at times, really giving the song like an upbeat feeling to it. There's also some synth elements added in there. It's a good song, and I really like it. It has like a nice punky, almost like ska vibe to it. At a
little bit
points with like the horn. That would be a little bit of a stretch because that's not really a genre I've dived into. That's definitely one you own more than I do. But yeah, it had an upbeat feeling to it. It like I said, the punk ska vibes, but it also made me think of like a late '90s, early 2000s sound. But this is from 2024, so I like it. I never really heard a song with so much email references with the lyrics in the song, including "I see you all the time," so I CC subject line, reply, "How have you been?" Well, I've been fine, and it's nice how well I've been fine, and it's just like it's very poppy, rock, punky, ska vibe-ish, and I like it. We were listening to it, I think before we recorded. I know we listened to it tonight at some point. Song kind of ends, kind of again with that theatrical aspect of it, with the door shutting, and it's a nice closing. Kind of goes with the performance and the overall act. Overall, it was good. I found some parts better than other parts. I mean, it's almost 4.5 minutes long, so it's a decently girthy song. But it was still enjoyable and really upbeat. I didn't give it a crazy high score. I only gave it a 3.5, but I could easily see it going to maybe a 3.7 or 3.8 because I feel like in the right atmosphere, it's better than what it is in the wrong atmosphere.
Sure. I like the 1, 2, 3 scratches from the guitar, followed up by the drumming hitting a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the song gets going right away with the vocals. I went away for a while. I come back all the time. I can't leave this town. I'm not a pop punk band. The vocals have a bit of a buzz to them, as well as some like vocal layering. The next set of vocals and lyrics, I've always kind of wondered if they were a reference to Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Now she's calling a cab. Yeah, she's calling a cab, and I couldn't care more. The instrumentation pulls back before the pre-chorus, before it starts to rev back up. And now that I'm a pop star, I've been smoking all the time. The drumming gets really rapid here, as well as there's a bit of brass as well. The chorus really pulls back to sparse guitar and light cymbals tapping before picking back up for the next verse. I like how we come back to the line, this time delivered with more desperation. Um, uh, I've been thinking for a long time on the off chance, no problem if not, but have you heard of this one place? Can't turn my phone off because now that I'm a pop star, I've been working all the time. Like, I like that. 3:17, the outro starts kind of stripped down to just guitar, strums, and vocals. I just wanna ball out with my friends. I wish my lifestyle was publicized. Live stream lying forever. And then a 1, 2, 3. Before the outro really picks back up with plenty of instrumentation for a big finale. Plenty of drums, brass, and drums, and yell vocals, ending with the brass and ending with a final like thud. This song has been in my rotation for like 2 years at this point. I think it's a blast of a song with some really fun pacing in its highs and lows. It's kind of like a roller coaster of a song. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, and then, oh.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good jam.
So
that's cool you've had it in the rotation for that long, because it is, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's very upbeat.
I give this a 4.1.
I could totally see you like driving to work or driving home on like a good day, not a bad day.
Yeah,
this is a good day song.
It's a good day.
It's just like being you.
Absolutely,
you.
And I do.
I'm sure. Yeah, I can.
Believe that.
I can picture it to a T.
So yeah, I give it a 4.1 out of 5.
All right.
So that will wrap this week's episode. As far as next week's go, we are going to be covering the album Magnified by Failure. And the bonus track will be...
Bonus track, I'm thumbing through it. We're going to go ahead. We're going to do a country bonus track because I feel like I am more country than
Austin
you.
by Blake Shelton.
Yeah, no. That my mom freaking loves that song. Let me make sure I get this right. The track is going to be Hard Times by Charlie Crockett. I don't know if you're familiar, but that will be the bonus. So we're going to do a little bit of it's new country, but it's all right. We can play it.
Okay. I'm down.
We can play it later, yeah.
Let's do it.
Anyways, that has been The Working Hour, a WHMS radio-style podcast. And until next time.
Don't work too hard now.
Don't
work
too hard now.
All right, there we go. All right, very good. Of low roar. I could see low roar on this. Just a little bit.